to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Everybody had a chance to go over the minutes? Move them? For both? Huh? There's two. There's two.
Second by Will.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. On resolutions. Government, GC 6, resolution authorizing entry into an option purchase agreement with Gypsum Aviation Services LLC for the acquisition of a hangar and establishing capital project number 109. First, I got a first by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Lockwood. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. Public Safety, PS2, resolution authorizing budgetary modification E911 additional hours. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. EDP. EP3, resolution authorizing budgetary modification Department of Community Development, Tourism, and Planning to accept state operating assistance funds. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Holst. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. On to health. Resolution increasing petty cash funds, health department. This has been modified a little bit from the finance and personnel packet from 750 to 1,000, did go through committee. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Wilbur. No, we don't have to. It was already done.
It was amended in the other one.
It was amended.
So it was distributed here.
Oh, okay.
It was already amended.
All right.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HE2, resolution authorizing position reclassification for elder families. Again, this was amended in committee from a grade 9 to a grade 8. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Lockwood. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HE3, resolution authorizing new position request, public health technician. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Walpole. Does anybody have any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HE4, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, health department, cost of spraying to control disease-carrying mosquitoes. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Holst. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HE5, resolution authorizing budgetary modification to the 2019 budget for preventative biological expenses, health department. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Walpole. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Human Services, HS1. Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services to accept state aid for the homeless service plan. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Walpole. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HS2, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services to accept state and federal aid for central services IT staff. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Holmes. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. HS 4, resolution authorizing, HS 3, sorry. Resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services to accept state aid for raise the age placements. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. HS 4, resolution authorizing budget modification, Department of Social Services to accept funding to operate TANF Summer Youth Employment Program. First by legislator Halls, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. HS 5, resolution authorizing acceptance of $1,000 from Pathfinder Bank to Oswego County Veterans Service Agency.
Just for clarification on this one and consistency, this is being reworded to resolution accepting donation of veteran services from Pathfinder Bank. Take the monetary amount out of the heading.
Donate, okay. Acceptance of donation. Do we have to amend that?
It was done in human services.
It was done in human service, okay. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Wilbur. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. FP1, resolution authorizing professional services contract, Human Resources Department, Employee Assistance Program, EAP. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Lockwood. Any discussion? All in favor? Carries, thank you. Vacancy review. Vacancy review?
Oh, yep. First one, real property. The committee suggested for a typist position that's been vacant since 1/1/19. We recommended until after on or after 1/1/20.
Got a first by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
Department of Social Services, and accounting supervisor grade B, backfill for promotional purposes, and also a typist, backfill for promotional purposes. They were both vacant, July 22nd.
Yeah, we can move them together. First by legislator Hall, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
Solid waste, a heavy operator, due to a resignation as of 8/9.
First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
And county clerk's looking for a motor vehicle clerk due to resignation as of August 23rd.
First by legislator Halls, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Treasurer.
Oh, ready?
Yeah.
Who's quit? Okay, that's year-to-date sales tax difference. We do have a check in process right now coming through. I just included the information on the next slide. So when you get this email later on today, you can follow through it if you want. Capital reserves is down a little bit from last month. That's how much we have with the amounts. OTASC actually is up, and it's just minor stuff that interest and different things, just adjustments. So that's what we have to burn through soon.
But that's gonna go down by 850.
Yeah. Yep. So there's some adjustments that I'm.
Yeah, we discussed, that's what we discussed last week.
Yeah, well, that plus whatever is left unspent on current projects, So we may have a couple other houses left over.
Okay.
We're making a couple bucks up right now on interest.
Right.
So there it is, there's the breakdown, individual breakdown of each, I'm sorry. Don't forget the tax foreclosure auction, October 5th, Mexico Academy. Real quick, a real property, if you go on the website, if you go down, click down about the third way down, it says auction. You hit that, and it shows you the list, so you can tell your constituents that, if they want to buy, show up, and, we'll be ready for them. And then, just real quick, overall, 1,089 certificates of residency. And, it was roughly 272 certificates per month, 13 per day. 8% rejection rate. Does that play into our budget? Not really, but it plays into every one of your districts. The amount of kids that came in that do not live in this county was eye-opening, to say the least. And I was fortunate to be with the chairman when we had one of them actually called the Oswego police on us. And had a disturbance because we would not give them, she was from the Bronx. So what we've done even now in this process, when they come in and they live in another county, we actually print out their certificate of residency from that county and give it to them and say, hey, you fill this out, send it to your county, and they'll pay for it. You gotta remember the amount of this could be $1,200, could be more, you know. The effect for Oswego City probably is probably the greatest because everybody was grabbing an apartment here for a couple months. That's their address, and guess who paid? So it's been very interesting. We've tightened it up so tight now that, yeah, people are calling cops. And,
Yeah, for the record, as our treasurer said, I just happened to be with him when this situation took place. His office did a stellar job handling the situation. This person was extremely irate. The Oswego PD showed up, backed all of our employees here in the building. It was very professional and handled very well through our treasurer's office. I was kind of impressed how the whole situation went down, and just like you said, purely coincidental. I happened to be with him at that moment. It was, yeah. It's,
and the PD was excellent. They supported our decision on that. We can really refuse anyone at any time. There's no open book for us. But again, this is going to be pretty incredible if we go next year and see what the rejection rate is, see if the message is out there, because what was happening, I had emails to the fact that colleges were saying, just go to Oswego, they'll give you. So now that message has changed, so maybe it wasn't 8%, maybe now that the colleges have worked with us and now they're not trying to do that. So
How long does a person need to be a resident before they can qualify for a certificate of residency?
we have to have proof for 6 months.
6 months.
So
And previously, there'd been
Oh,
people
it could
that had
be-
been living here for 2 months and they were still getting it.
and it's real easy now, the way the process is set up, it's real easy to follow up with a license, driver's license. And whether it's a tax return or something like that, it's real easy, right, 6 months. And they probably can prove that with a tax return from last year. So it's like I said, the process is really, really good. So any complaints in your district, just have them call me. I haven't really heard any. That's it.
So you're gonna give me a community college chargeback budget that's 8%?
Unfortunately, I think the projection is gonna be more.
But imagine
Why?
what
Because I think
it could have been.
unfortunately, I think more people there's less kids going. So, we'll see if it balances out.
Yeah.
I hopefully we can.
Fewer kids go, the tuition goes up.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Okay, you all set, Kevin?
That's it.
Any questions for our treasurer? Thank you. Mr. Church?
Yeah, just 2 items. As you know, this time of year, I concentrate mainly on budget. Budget process is underway. The department's getting the budgets into us. And we began budget meetings this morning. So I can't give you an overall picture yet. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be meeting with all the department heads and going through their budget. We do know some increases, some decreases that will impact the overall product. But it's well underway. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to give me a call or ideas or concerns. I would ask though that during the month of September, if you sort of call ahead, it would be helpful because my meetings are pretty much back to back, and between those meetings, I'm going through all the documentation. So I'd be happy to take any of your calls and just ask you to be mindful of the time. Second thing, and I'm sorry this wasn't in the packet, it came after the packet, pass these around. These are resolutions that the Association of Counties is considering lobbying the state prior to their budget development. As we know, everything now, every law, whether it's budget related or not, seems to be linked to the state budget in the process they're using now. So I don't need your action on these, but if you want to read through them, let me know how you feel about them. And we can direct those going to NISAC to speak for or against these. Pretty much we've gone before these, in my opinion. The first is there is a legislation being proposed in the state to change the foreclosure process in New York State, which could negate a lot of the progress we've made in our foreclosure process, affecting the reverse chronological order in which people have to pay their taxes. If the state passes this law, it could allow people to basically work the system to delay the payment of their taxes almost continuously, maybe a few years behind continuously. So we want to make sure that that doesn't get done. The next one is a push to have the state give local authority over sales tax. This is done every year. We never quite always get what we want, but the pressure that has been kept up on this did result in going from 2 to 3 years for renewals. We're still pushing for permanent authority over that locally, so we don't have to go to the state to renew. The third one is something you may not have heard about, but it's becoming increasing problems called the dark store theory. Basically, the big box retailers, they build very unique buildings that almost identify their logo and their trademark and their structure. And they've successfully, around the United States, have been able to grieve their tax appraisers saying that the building has no value unless we are there. And they basically can grieve it down to the value of an abandoned building, saying it has no use, you're not going to sell to anybody because the look of the building is connected to us. So there's they want to develop a task force to create law to prevent this from happening. It's happening more and more around the country. In some communities, are being hit pretty hard. We have a lot of big box stores down their main strips. In other states, we're starting to see it in New York too. So that's what those three are about. If you have any thoughts on those, please give me a call. My sex. It's the third week in September. A number of us are going. And we can have some input.
Thank you, Phil.
Sure.
Ms. Brown.
So included in your packet, once again, there is a listing of vacancies, employee counts, and a listing of employees on leave of absences, and a listing of our current exams. Currently, we have 34 vacant positions. With the year-to-date savings as of August 26th of $1,476,272 and some change. We do currently, just so you know, so you can let your constituents know, we do accept credit card payments now in the office, which will hopefully help out the ones that we turn away that we can't accept cash. We only accept check right now, but we do offer credit card payments, and eventually we will do that all online once our website is up and running. And then just to remind, the county treasurer offered for after this meeting, we have a claims meeting for our workers' comp to invite all of you to attend to sit in and see how that goes. We also have our one group safety consultants will be here as well as our triad and PBM, which are third-party administrators for comp and
That's, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Right here. Or
Yeah, you can do it.
you can do it here. Okay. That's it, right?
Here.
Motion to adjourn by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.